Welcome to all you Virgos out there. This is your yearly horoscope. I almost said monthly. You saw that? You saw that? Yearly horoscope. Yearly horoscope of 2022. Significant year for the Virgos? Absolutely. A lot happening for you. Very busy year. I mean, these are, of course, general horoscopes, as you know. And I'm going to address like the most important things like the Venus retrograde, the Mars retrograde, the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, and also the nodes that are shifting. A bit to a lesser extent, the outer planets, but we'll see how far we can go. But first of all, we start off the year with the Venus retrograde. And that's positive for the Virgos. Wow, that is fantastic because it is in a fellow earth sign of Capricorn, and it is in your fifth house, the house of your heart, the house of romance, the house of children, the house of projects, the house of having fun. And you're having Pluto there for quite a while. And now Venus and Mars is conjoining with it, with that Pluto, and not only going backwards and forwards in December, January, February of 2022, you feel it very strongly that there is a shift and a transformation going on. Of course, it depends on the other parts of your chart, but normally this means like an easy transformation because it's in a trine to your energy. But of course, Pluto is never easy. Pluto has to do with the dying and getting born again. So this could mean literally that you're having a baby, for instance, and because of that, you're a part of you that your identity kind of dies and how you deal with yourself. You're spending way more time in a different way, and because this little creature is in your life, and that has a transformative energy. It could be as simple as that, or a new love approaching for you. Absolutely. And when that happens, this is during this period, it's going to be a very intense connection, a very intense relationship because of Pluto. An all or nothing energy, a very charismatic attraction, a very, you know, when you are single and you start off a relationship here. And of course, with the Venus retrograde, I'm going a bit deeper into that in the monthlies, but it doesn't have to be negative at all. I mean, it's normal when you meet someone new, that you are like saying, reassessing every time you see them. That is very normal. And that can be that Venus retrograde going backwards and forwards. But because of love, there is something huge of your life that transforms. So for instance, if you are single, you meet someone, your whole life changes. You could have to move, have another job because you have to move states or whatever it is. When you are in a relationship as well, there could be a transformation going on there. And because of that, it could mean that your whole life changes. So for the Virgos who have a very difficult relationship, they could meet someone, right, that kind of helps them to, you know, when you have that kind of relationship that you're saying, I have to end this, but I haven't got the courage. You know, I have to end this because it's toxic or just because it's already dead, right? And you feel it and you know it, and but you don't have the courage to say so to your spouse or to your girlfriend and boyfriend, then it's more, you're getting nothing out of the relationship anymore. Then someone could come along that helps you out a little bit, if you know what I mean. So it's not always that how do you say that perfect, right? Like in the movies, a relationship ends and then it starts a new one. No, it's mostly woven into each other. So it could be there as well, because Pluto has to do with hidden stuff, and with this Venus Mars, it could be that, you know, things that you really need to address. But for others in a relationship, it can mean that you're doing stuff together that transforms your whole life, and it makes your relationship anew, so to speak. Talking about relationships, Jupiter and Neptune are going to conjoin as well in April, on the 12th of April, but a lot of activity in relationships when April comes, because then also Venus will be in Pisces and Mars will be in Pisces, a lot of stuff in Pisces. And that's your 7th house of relationships. So again, Jupiter-Neptune conjunction happens, it's very rare. In Pisces, it's super, super rare. So what is this? Yes, a soul connection. Yes, no doubt about it. There could be a soul connection coming your way. The only but is to stay with the feet on the ground. That's basically it. And I kind of, why do I have to say that to Virgos, right? Because you are an earth sign. You will be able to have the feet on the ground. But be aware around April time that some things are, you know, with Jupiter, Neptune there could be stuff coming up that put your life again upside down because of information that you're getting from, if you are in a relationship, there could be information revealing itself. And then, you know, there are really, really changes coming up for you. Or when you are single, there could be again, you know, this person, maybe from January, February, and in April, you want to go a bit further there. And you're thinking about how meaningful that person is. And it's going to be, you know, Jupiter in its own sign. So it's a very meaningful connection for sure. But again, just be sure that, because Neptune has a tendency to be a bit vague. So make sure that you have the feet on the ground. Make sure that you're not losing yourself in this connection. In other words, don't put them on a pedestal and you cannot go wrong. Period, right? From the true Virgo to another true Virgo. Well, I hope I'm truthful. You know, I try to. Anyways, talking about truthfulness, the intention will also be very, very important. You know, make sure that your intention is very, very aligned with your core values. Then you can definitely not go wrong. And then the shift goes towards career. Because from August of 2022 up until March of 2023, you're gonna have Mars in Gemini in the highest point of your horoscope, which represents career. And Mars is your actions, and the 10th house is career. If you're saying, Veerle, I'm 75, I don't have a career, then this has to do with how you want to be seen by society, what you can contribute to society. Whether it is your good vibes, or whether it is a tiny little bit that you can do for the society, it doesn't matter. It's a lot of activity there, a lot of energy, very busy time for you. And because the Mars stays normally like 6 weeks in a sign, now it's going to be there for 7 months. So for a lot of Virgos, this will have to do with a new job, a new project, a new way of working. It's definitely possible, but it's something that needs time, and it's something that needs a lot of work before you see the profit of it. And of course, it's also quite important, because when we have Mars in an area of life that is so long there, it deepens that area of life. So Mars retrograde is not bad or good, it's neutral. But because it's so long there in that area of life, it kind of gives you the possibility, the opportunity to deepen that area, to improve it, to make cuts and new rebirths, so to speak. Mars is the planet of cutting, and so lots of you will stop an old job and start a new one, for instance. And lots of you will be super active when it comes to career, will want to make a promotion and all of that. It's all possible, but it's when Mars goes direct in January of 2023 that you're going to see the first results. So if you are patient, this is a wonderful time. And in Gemini, so it could have to do with learning, with teaching, with information, communication, travels, but also sales, buying, selling, and all of that. So if you're thinking about launching a new business, it's a very good one. I remember when I launched my business, the astrology. It also happened during a very long Mars retrograde. So very, very interesting energy for sure. And also what you're gonna launch is going to be long term, because this Mars is going to trine Saturn as well. And Saturn is in your 6th house of your day-to-day work. So although it squares up with Neptune, so also here, keep the feet on the ground. It's the same thing as with the relationship. Keep the feet on the ground. You can think big, yes. You can see big, yes, but make it practical like true Virgo, right? So that you know, make it practical into the 3D world, and it will be very satisfying. It will be very, very good indeed. So, and then the eclipses. So the eclipses are shifting as from January 2022. The eclipse is shifting into Taurus. So for you, again, this is nice. This is a fellow Earth energy in your 9th house. So the North Node shows where you need to focus on. So the Virgos need to focus on their philosophy, their perspective, reading, studying, teaching, traveling. That is what the universe recommends you to do for the whole of 2022. And that's nice, that's fun, and but also in a very real way. So studying and publishing and connecting with people from different cultures can be really, really helping you with your growth and really giving you that anchor, so to speak, for the future. Jupiter will be in Aries, and that will be in your 8th house as from the 11th of May to the 29th of October. That can be a very beautiful time for expansion of money that you share with other people, or expansion of intimacy, psychology, studying the occult, but in a very fiery way, being very enthusiastic. That can be possible when Jupiter is in your 8th house. Now, I already mentioned Pluto. So Pluto stays in Capricorn for the whole year. So that is that transformation that I was talking about in the beginning. The Neptune, yes, opportunities for connecting on a deep level with people, but be aware of putting your feet on the ground. Don't want to rescue others, of course, and you don't need to be rescued either. Don't fall into that Virgo Pisces trap. The Uranus-Saturn square, I'm not going to mention that because first of all, you're not a fixed sign, and secondly, this is not going to be that important anymore next year, only in October. So, for you, this mostly has to do with some routines at work. Saturn there in your 6th house of your day-to-day work. This is kind of your house, the Virgo house. And with Saturn there, it means discipline and it means your day-to-day routines. But because you're a Virgo, that should go quite well in general for the Virgos. So all in all, quite an interesting year. And quite a year with a lot of liveliness, a lot of different things that are shifting. And because of all that mutable energy, that Mars in Gemini is very important for you, but also that Jupiter-Neptune as well. Having said that, thank you so much for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye.